Hey, what is up guys? So we are going to be doing a deck profile / discussion video on the Junk Warrior support cards that just came out recently. And I kind of want to make this a discussion video as well as kind of like an early deck profile, because I feel like the deck still needs some work, so that's why I'm calling it like a discussion / deck profile. The way I've designed this deck is basically like an all-in OTK deck, and it does it pretty well because Junk Warrior has absurd amounts of attack. It's relatively safe because the Scrap Fist protects the card super well. If you guys haven't checked out and seen what the deck does, basically you can attack into something that's an attack or defense position and you're going to be doing upwards of 10,000 plus damage. It's absolutely ridiculous. In the video that I showcased, I did 18,000 plus damage, and it's just so crazy to see that in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where the combo is relatively consistent too, because reinforcement of the army is at 3. But if you're just here to net deck, I'll put the link down below in the description box, and you can just go ahead and download it and make some changes yourself, because this obviously only has 3 cards in the extra deck, and I was like, you know what, I just want to make it Junk Warrior for now, because I feel like if you're going to be adding more cards, you probably would want to drop some of the Rush Warriors and stuff like this. This is just purely a OTK based version. Of course, you can also play other versions of the deck, but because I wanted to try to see how good the deck was, and through playtesting, I felt like basically it's a super consistent way to get game, and like I said, it's relatively safe because of Scrap Fist. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump to the profile real quick, then I'll explain everything and explain what is required for the combo. But if you guys haven't checked out the video, I'll put a link down below in the description box, and you can just kind of just watch how the OTK works. It's very consistent though. Anyways, you play 3 Junk Synchrons, or I'm playing 3 Junk Synchrons, 3 Nipomo 3 Doppel Warriors, 2 card D, 3 Max C, 3 Rush Warrior, which is one of the new cards, 2 Swift Scarecrow, 3 copies of Effect Failure, Creature Swap, 3 Reinforcements of the Army, and 2 Night Beams, 3 Tunings, 3 Pot of Duality, 3 Mystical Space Typhoon, and 3 Scrap Fist. Now, you can also recycle Junk Synchron off of Rush Warrior, but as far as extra goes, I just have 3 Junk Warriors. You obviously probably want Librarian, you want like other cards like formulas, and you can make the deck more extensive, but for now I just wanted to basically give you guys a skeleton deck profile, or basically an idea where you can kind of build off of it, because I think that that's really key in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is to be able to kind of build your deck yourself. But cards I did consider at one point were Gores, also Field Commander Roz, because the card has a really good effect. It's when this card is normal or special summon, you get to choose 1 level 4 lower warrior type monster from your deck and place it on the top of your deck, which basically searches out your combo pieces in the deck. So what is required to actually pull off the OTK, guys? Now, certain times, if your opponent is at low life points, you won't need all the combo pieces, but pretty much you need something in the graveyard that you can special summon to make Junk Synchron. So let me go and clear this side area right here, and this will kind of represent the cards that are required right here down on the side. So you're going to, of course, need Junk Synchron, anything that you can bring out, whether it's Doppel, whether it's Nipomo. I just like Nipomo because you can use it in addition with Creature Swap, which I'm playing 1 copy of. At one point I was like, well, if I Creature Swap the Doppel token, then it makes it really consistent, but because you're boosting this card up to crazy amounts of attack, and in addition to that your opponent takes double battle damage because of Rush Warrior and Scrap Fist, you really didn't need to do that. But I liked 1 Creature Swap because it worked well with like Nipomo, and just it's a nice card to give them a Doppel token, and then you take, you know, whatever they have on board. Especially against Noble Knights, this card is very trollsy against that deck. But you're gonna need Junk Synchron, and then something you can special summon to bring out Doppel Warrior, or you can bring out Doppel Warrior, or you can get Max C. But you just need something to bring out which is relatively easy in the deck, because everything is basically like deck thinning, and then you cannot get card D. I wish you could get card D just to like summon it and then not get its effect, just to be able to just get you know, a card to be able to make Junk Warrior. But you just need something to make Junk Warrior, and then you're going to also it helps if you have Doppel Warrior, because you get the extra 800 attack boost, which actually ends up doubling. It basically quadruples it because you double it, and then they also take double battle damage, so it becomes a little bit crazy. But you're going to also need the Rush Warrior and Scrap Fist. So this is basically a 3-card OTK. You still tactically need a card in the graveyard, but it's pretty easy to do in the deck anyways. And this can actually recycle Junk Synchron anyways, but The reason why I like this OTK is it's super safe. Once you've, you know, summoned your monsters, most of the times in the game people will activate things like Vanity's Emptiness to prevent you from getting things out. But once you get things out, the only thing that's going to stop you is something that activates during the battle phase, something like Prison, Mirror Force, all that stuff. Scrap Fist makes it so it's immune to that. If you guys haven't seen this card, it's absolutely crazy. It's just like effects on top of effects. So anyways, Scrap Fist lets you target one Junk Warrior you control this turn. If it battles an opponent's monster, apply these effects. You get all of them. It's not like you choose which one, you get all of them. So your opponent can't activate any cards or effects until the end of the damage step. When it attacks defense position monster, inflict piercing, double any battle damage your opponent takes from battles involving it. It can't be destroyed by battle, and you get to destroy that opponent's monster at the end of the damage step, which is pretty much irrelevant because the way that they've designed Junk Warrior to work is you're just going to OTK them. You're going to one-hit OTK them, and it's crazy how much damage you do. Next up, Rush Warrior, what he does is, during damage calculation in either player's turn, if a Warrior Synchro monster you control battles an opponent's monster, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, double your battling monster attack during that damage calculation only. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Synchron monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. You can only use each effect of Rush Warrior once per turn. It's pretty much irrelevant anyways because you really don't need one, because you're basically quadrupling your attack in a sense, because you double the attack, and then in addition to that, your opponent takes double battle damage, and it does piercing. It's like, well, did you really need to do all the, like, it's crazy how much attack you get the Junk Warrior up to. And like I said, if you just watch the video, you'll understand how much attack you get this card up to, and I want to know what's the highest you can get it up to, because I was thinking at one point, guys, which would have been cool, was to have Tragodia. And if you happen to have a bunch of cards in your hand, obviously you're going to have these 3 cards with combo, but I was playing like 3 Tragodia at one point, and it's just like crazy how many cards you can get, and you can like set dualities and stuff like that. Basically, I like Tragodia because you can set your stuff. You don't have to worry about, like, you know, Gores where you have to have nothing. And Tragodia can also change its level. So Tragodia could be level 2, and then Junk Warrior could get that effect that it gains the attack of all the attack equal to the attack of all level 2 or lower monsters you control. So Tragodia, you can actually boost up Junk Warrior to even crazier amounts of attack. And of course, you're going to be quadrupling the damage because you're doubling the damage, and they also say double battle damage. So it's crazy how much you could possibly get this up to. I'm sure someone's going to make a video where you get this card up to like 100,000 attack. It's completely pointless, but the fact that you can do it in the game is crazy. But like I said, the deck is super consistent because Scrap Fist makes it so like Junk Warrior is pretty much protected when he's attacking, and then, you know, obviously you activate this, and they're going to take double battle damage, and it doubles its attack already. But this is really a skeleton deck, like I said, guys, because a lot of you guys asked me for the deck profile, and I'm trying to work around how I can make this deck just a more of a synchro-based deck. But I feel like with Scrap Fist and the Rush Warrior, it's pretty much an all-in thing. Even though Rush Warrior is kind of cool because he has that ability to just target one Synchro monster in your graveyard and you get to add it to your hand. So I was thinking at one point I was going to play a triple quick draw and then just keep on discarding Rush Warriors and then use it to re-add back the cards that I've discarded to make like more of a synchro-based deck. Where this is basically an OTK oriented deck, and I've opted not to make other things. Like, of course, you definitely want to add like Librarian, Catasters, Armadis, maybe even Quasar if you really want to add other cards. Another thing I was thinking about was Spell Striker, but at this point, like, the deck wasn't about Junk Warrior OTK, which is what the new support basically tries to make you to do. It's more so just based around just an overall synchro deck. But I would love to know if you guys have any suggestions for this deck, because I feel like it's a cool deck that you can OTK with Junk Warrior, but that's only fun, like, you know, a few times. I kind of get tired of doing the same little cookie cutter combo over and over, but which is just summoning Junk Synchron, make Junk Warrior. If I have Doppel, cool, I get extra boost, and then Scrap Fist, and on top of that, Rush Warrior. You're doing so much damage to the point where it doesn't really matter what they have on board. Most of the time, well, it depends on, you know, how many tokens you have, and if you happen to have Nimble Among Us like I did. I got really lucky that I had Nimble Among Us, because it does have 1,000 attack, which is not too bad for level 2 monster. Also, I like this card because it's just like a classic Yu-Gi-Oh card, and it is pretty annoying sometimes to deal with, and also I like it with Creature Swap, and Creature Swap is actually pretty good in this deck. You can definitely try to play 3 if you want. There's also like something box. Let me mention this card real quick. It's called Mystic Box, and it says target one monster your opponent controls and one monster you control. Destroy the first target, then give control of the second target to your opponent. So you give them a doppel token, and you get to get rid of a monster that they have. So that's a pretty awesome card too. But I find Creature Swap to be much better. If you want, you can play triple Creature Swap, and then maybe you can give them some like awful cards, and then maybe you summon card D and they effect Veiler, or they negate the effect, and you're like, okay, cool, Creature Swap or something like that. But I just really like Creature Swap because you can give them a token, and then you can attack the token, and of course you're dealing upwards of 10,000 plus damage anyways. But for the most part, pretty much most of the things in the game you will be attacking for game. Unless they have upwards of like 5,000-6,000 attack, which can happen in the game, but it's quite rare. But anyways, if you guys have any suggestions for this deck, I'd love to hear them in the comment section below. And we can completely change the deck if you guys want. But I felt like this was a decent skeleton version because I wanted the deck to be more about just doing the OTKs. Of course, like I said, we can make it a synchro version, and I just like 3 Veiler, 3 Maxi because it prevents you from getting OTK'd. And also, I just throw something in the graveyard so you can junk Synchron to get back, and then you can special Doppel, or of course just special summon Maxi, and then from there you can make the junk warrior. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Azneyes signing out.